Hi and welcome back to the Silverstone Museum YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about a unique event. The only time Silverstone has hosted the IndyCar series. It was back in 1978 and we put together a lovely graphic here at the museum that visitors could come and read with the posters from the event. Silverstone and Brands Hatch across those 2 weekends hosted the races, but as you can tell by the umbrellas, traditional Silverstone weather hit and it was almost a complete washout. Well, we're really proud to have here at the museum with us the car that won that race, and it was run by the American legend AJ Foyt. We use that word legend a lot in motorsport, but AJ Foyt is one of the few drivers who has won the Indy 500 4 times. This car is one that was developed by him and his team across from 1973 through to 1978. It's a Coyote with a Foyt engine. We'll come on to the engine in a minute, but I just want to show you a couple of details of the car. One of the key things about AJ Foyt was the number 14. He always raced with this number 14. And he actually is effectively team principal of a team that runs in IndyCar today. And Santino Ferrucci at the Indy 500 of 2024, he carries that number 14. Also, if we just bring the camera up here a little bit, we can see this lovely Coyote logo. It's kind of almost that wolf coyote with a car and an engine. I absolutely love this. But this logo actually adorns the AJ Foyt cars in Indy cars today. Lovely piece of history. But looking at this car, it's pretty epic. It looks a complete beast. Huge in stature, really big and wide at the back, pretty wide at the front as well. You've got this really tight cockpit. If we get the camera in here, we can see the leather seats, the really tight harnesses that sit in here, and the relatively small steering wheel, manual gearbox, aluminium all the way in the inside. Now, you look at this. Now, any of you that know AJ Foyt will know he was quite a large chap and still is quite a large chap. I imagine getting in and out of this car was not always the easiest thing. And I spoke to an engineer a little while ago. They suspected they actually got AJ in sometimes and put the bodywork, the top part of this bodywork on upside afterwards. I'm not sure if that's strictly true, but certainly a lovely story. As we move towards the back of this car, you cannot miss this engine. A huge V8 engine. Well, back in 1973, AJ Foyt managed to get hold of the rights to use the Ford V8 engine, an incredibly powerful engine that powered this car to over 200 miles an hour. In fact, when the cars raced here at Silverstone back in 78, they were the fastest cars that had ever been here. They were faster than the Grand Prix cars at the time, hitting over 201 mile an hour on Hangar Straight, which is something, yes, we know the Formula One cars do today, but certainly back in 78 that was not the case. The engine's massive. If you look at the top of the castings, we bring the camera down around this way, you can actually see, instead of it saying Ford on the casting here, you can actually see where it says Foyt on here, the letters. I'm not sure if the camera can get in there, and you can probably see the letters there. You've got these huge intakes here and the air intakes, and then as the air moves back here, you've got this ginormous turbo sitting out the back here. Now, one thing I'm really sad about is we are not able to start this car up because it would sound absolutely brilliant. The car, when it ran in different specs, you'll see different photos. It had a little uplift front wing at the back. You've also got this huge rear wing here, made of aluminium. A little bit different to the carbon fibre we use today, but that would have kept the air over the top to keep the back of the car down. One of the things, I'm just going to bring the camera down this way, which I find a little bit strange about this car, is these huge strengthening bars here. This goes to show they weren't using completely tensioning the engine to hold the gearbox and the back wheel on. We've got these extra supports in here. Really, it's quite antiquated technology by motor racing standards. By 78, Formula One was a lot more refined. But what we were doing with this car is really taking this huge engine to catapult this car forward, and it was incredibly quick. In 1977, AJ won the last of his 4 Indy 500 wins in one of these cars, And in 1978, this car was so successful, it actually only raced 5 times, but it won 2 of those races. So statistically, an incredibly successful car. It's brilliant that it's here at the Silverstone Museum, and I must say, under lights, this orange really pumps out a really vibrant colour. It's lovely to be able to get up close to it, and it's something that our visitors to the museum can come and see right the way through until October.